When you're stressed out and feeling like you can barely keep your head above water, the most amazing feeling is being able to take something off your plate. Delegation is an excellent way to do this, but so many of us screw this up or have fears around it. So today I want to talk about the art of delegation. Hi everyone, I'm Jen, founder of Life After Busy and productivity coach for female creatives and entrepreneurs. So I am one of the ones that had totally screwed delegation up. About a year ago, I hired a virtual assistant, and one of the things that I chose to hand off to her was engagement on my Instagram account. And after a few months of having her take this over, I started to see I was getting nothing out of the money that I was putting into having her work on that account. Yes, it was nice to have it off my plate, but the reason why was my Instagram account wasn't in a place where it was ready to be handed off yet. I hadn't developed enough of a brand voice and attracted enough ideal customers that it wasn't a good job to pass on to a virtual assistant. So lesson 1 in the art of delegating effectively is make sure you're delegating the right stuff. Make sure the task that you're handing off can either be done better by the person you're handing it off to. So say in my example, if that person was a social media expert, that would have made sense. Or you're handing off a task that's running so smoothly that it can easily be supported with a detailed workflow. One of the things that I did hand off to the virtual assistant that kind of met that last example of something that was running so smoothly that it was easy to hand off with just a workflow was my blog posts. I was posting weekly on the Life After Busy website. I had a process really detailed out. I was able to hand that off to her. It was seamless and saved me so much time. So how can we do this? How can we make sure that we are handing off the right tasks? Couple of notes for you. First is make a list of all of your tasks. This might take some time, maybe spend a week just kind of keeping notes of how you are spending your days and what tasks, and kind of come back to them as things pop up. And then identify your most leverage work. So that area of your strength, the things that you're really, really good at, and you can't hand off to anybody else. Either you don't want to because it's something you love, or it's something that your business depends on you showing up. And maybe that's creating content. That's definitely going to be some networking within your business, building those relationships. So spend time thinking about what you have delegated in your business and what you could delegate by making sure you're clear on what your strengths are and what tasks you could easily hand off to someone else. Okay, another reason many of us screw up delegation is we have a lot of fears around it. So lesson number 2 in the art of delegating effectively is to address your own barriers. There's a couple of things that are really common when it comes to barriers with delegation. The first is the need for control. If you are watching this video, I'm guessing that you are a small business owner and you might be on the verge of hiring your very first virtual assistant, or maybe getting an intern to do some work for you. And we've been in control of our business for so long, it feels really scary to hand off those tasks. But in order to grow your influence, you need to become more essential and less involved. To reach more people, we have to spend more time influencing and less time actually doing the work inside of our business. So that's fear number 1 is control. Fear number 2 is the fear of failure. I'm not going to get too much into it because there's a lot there, but I will link down below in the comments why you need to fail fast. Failure is always part of the process, and it's okay. You're going to learn from those failures. So go check out that blog post if you want some more information there. Number 3 is the lack of faith that somebody else is going to do the job, right? This is a little bit has to do with control. This is associated with that fear of control or unwillingness to give up control. This shows up for me as a mom really often. I hate to admit this, but sometimes when I give something to my kids, I don't really feel very assured that they're going to do the job. Maybe it's emptying the dishwasher or washing the car the way I would have done it. But we're going to get into that a little bit in lesson number 5 when it comes to art of failure. So think about what fears are coming up from you. If there's any that I haven't addressed, please feel free to drop it down in the comments below. Okay, lesson number 3 is when you've identified what you want to delegate. Okay, so we've gotten through our barriers, we've identified our most important, our tasks that we're willing to hand off to somebody else, and we need to start with the delegation process. The best place to start is with your reasons why. And let me tell you, just don't get into teaching, okay, this is how you need to, post a blog post on my website. When someone can understand why they're doing what they're doing and why their role is important, they are a lot more invested in the work that they're doing for you. So let's use my blog post as an example. The blog post is my way to reach my clients and reach other women that are struggling with managing their time. They feel like their time's stressed. And this is a lesson to help teach them, to give them skills to move on. So once a virtual assistant or someone that's helping me with that job can wrap their mind around that, they can feel like there's a cause for the reason that they're doing their work, and they can get more behind it. Lesson number 4 is to confirm understanding. So you've given the reason why, and now you're starting to teach, right? And maybe you want to support this with, I like to use Trello. I have my workflows built into Trello. Some people like to use Zoom, but give them a step-by-step guide. Not only teach them, if you can in person, that's great. If not, maybe over a Zoom, but give them some sort of documentation that they can come back to and check to make sure they're going through the steps correctly. Step number 5 is don't redo something that they've done wrong. So going back to having faith that they're going to do it correctly. And when they do screw up, don't just redo it. That would be so much easier. Am I right? I mean, you've posted a blog post on your website a million times. You could probably go get it done in about 10 minutes. But it's better to teach them. And by teaching them, just pointing out the error and communicating what went wrong, they're going to learn more from that process rather than you just going in and fixing it for them. This comes to motherhood and to delegating tasks inside of our business. And I actually have a story about this. I had one of the jobs my virtual assistant was helping me with was sending out my email newsletter. And I have a productivity style quiz that is linked on my website. And when somebody takes that quiz, it's actually evaluated from either me or someone inside of my business, and the results are then sent out. But it's only sent out to that specific person. And I was sending emails to a very segmented part of my list. Well, she didn't segment the list correctly, and something that was supposed to go to a very small segment of a certain productivity style actually went to my entire list. It was super confusing for them. It took us a little time to figure it out, but she was able to fix the mistake. I know it took some time to go through and clean that list, and there was a little bit of confusion on the side of my email newsletter subscribers, but we got it done. So those are my top 5 lessons on the art of delegating effectively. If you are currently delegating inside your business, or even if you're delegating at home, chime in on the comments below. I'd love to see if there's anything that you have done to make the art of delegating more effective for you. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for being here, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Bye for now.